Hi everybody, I'm Katarina Waters from Sustainably Rooted. I am a full-time teacher and mom of 2 wonderful kids, and this is our wonderful and amazing garden. It is summertime. I am enjoying the sunshine so much, and yeah, it's the first week of August. I'm in zone 8B, and I thought I'd show you what am I planning for fall. Yeah, that's right. It is August, the beginning of August, the middle of summer. It is beautiful, and I'm already starting my fall garden. This is the best time to start. So I'm starting slightly early, just a little bit, because I want to get some crops going, and I'll go through that here in a second. So let's start with, I'm going to go over what am I growing, kind of a little bit how, and why. Why am I doing that? And yeah. If you haven't already checked out the video on my, I was trying to decide if I wanted that or not. I'll go without it. If you haven't checked out my garden tour, my summer garden tour, I would definitely encourage you to do that, because you're going to see a lot of stuff in the background, and it's really cool to see just how much stuff has already grown within a month. It's just really taken off. So just really quickly, what's really cool is look at all that wonderful corn. It's so tall right now. I've got a couple ears growing. It's so great. And then right here is all my tomatoes, which have gone out of control, of course. They are basically like 6 feet tall, but the cages are only like 3 feet. I'm going to do a video on my growing tomatoes, so you can check that out as well. Yeah, here we go. So I have, this is my bed that I just, if you remember from my garden tour, I've got peas in the back. Here's carrots and parsnips and potatoes. My potatoes, as you can see, are kind of starting to wilt. So those are going to be pulled out soon. But what did I plant here? Well, I am letting these seeds, these peas go to seed. And I started planting my first little crop of that. So I've got these Sugar Daddy seeds that I've planted. I'm only planting 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, right here on the string, by the strings, just so that they have somewhere to climb. I'm gonna kind of hold out. Next week or 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna plant another cycle as well, and kind of continue my way that way with some other different varieties. Over here in this dirt, I am planting right here this variety called Little Fingers carrots, and they turned out, they grew so fast, so well, and so I wanted to grow those again. We've already been eating from our first chunk of those, I don't know if chunk, our first crop of those, and even though I've planted this crop a long time ago, they're still pretty darn small. And that is not the case with this variety. So that one I've started planting as well. And we'll go over the why I'm planting what here in a bit. But both these are cool weather crops. They're going right here where I already had planted stuff. So I'm just going to continue with that as well. Going over to my other bed, and if you remember, this bed was so much more full when I did my tour. And I have pulled out so many things. I pulled out all my kale right here. If you remember, a bunch of it was going to seed, and so that's all been pulled out at this point. I don't remember, I think I had beets over here that got pulled out, and maybe some radishes that got pulled out as well. So I planted the same things in the same spots. I'm going to do that. I did my spring, whatever I planted in the spring, I'm going to plant again in the fall to get my fall crop. And then next spring, I'll kind of I'll rotate those. This is the first time I've done all 3 seasons, and I'm going to try and overwinter everything. So I'm going to fail on a bunch of stuff, and that's okay. But here's what I'm currently doing. We'll see how it goes. I'll do an update later so you can kind of see. So over here, I've got some broccoli that have gone to seed. These 2 have gone to seed. This one is a plant that I grew earlier. Okay, broccoli, green sprouting calabrese. And I planted a couple more in this kind of bed with the onions, inner with the onions. So I planted down, I think I planted 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, just right in this area. I planted one kind of close to this because that's not going to stay very long. So there you go. And then I've got some radishes. I grew 2 rows of radishes. This one is a French breakfast. It grew really fast, so I wanted to do that one again. And the sparklers. Okay. And then, so what I did, kind of getting a little bit into the how before we move on, is I kind of made this row and just kind of sprinkled it. Okay. So there's a couple different things that you want to do with things like carrots and lettuce and a lot of things I'm planting right now. I'm going to plant like a row like this, just put my finger through, sprinkle down the seeds, and you'll see me do that with the spinach and go from there. Where the broccoli, I want to grow individual plants. I don't want like the giant row. So I'm kind of poking my finger in like this, planting a seed and just sprinkling over. You don't have to, you can put the seed right on top and just kind of sprinkle it over as well. So that's what that looks like. Over here I have kale, and just right behind the kale I put more kale as well, just a line of kale right there, and that's the blend I used. My daughter, oh, before I move on, arugula, planted some arugula just right here, and right here behind the sage, just right here as well. This is pineapple sage. Oh man, it smells so good. I love it so much. Here's my beets. Here is where I'm really thinking about individually, so I do put in like kind of holes and then plant those beets in here. This one's called Early Wonder, and the other one is called a golden variety. Both of these, I really did not have very good luck in the springtime. I'm hoping planting them here and getting the heat going maybe will help them. I really have low expectations, honestly. It sucks. I've left this kind of blank space between my arugula and my beets right here behind this marigold, and I've noted it kind of using this tag that this is kind of blank for me. And so I am going to plant another succession of beets later here, so that will help me. More in this bed, I'm planting these collards. Okay, collard vates. There's already 2 growing right now. I planted 2 more, maybe 3 more right here, because I wanted to get more plants and more, to get kind of like, again, a succession that I can pick off of some, and then others will be growing. Same with my kale. Okay. In a different video, I'll go over this, but these are the seeds I saved from my rapini. If you remember in a video, I had a bunch of rapini plants growing. I currently have kale that I'm going to save seeds from, but rapini. Same thing with broccoli. It's a type of broccoli, like a Chinese broccoli. You can kind of see the seeds there. They're little kind of balls. And what I did again is poked some holes and planted those seeds in there. That's right here. I think I planted maybe 4 seeds, and then I'll do another set of seeds as well. So right here again, behind the marigold, I've kind of left this area blank so that I can continue to grow more crops. Before we get going on to how to grow, kind of like, we're gonna do spinach together, I wanted to just share real quick of how I prepared this bed a little bit. And to do that, obviously I had to pull out the things that aren't growing. I really am thinking about production too. Is it worth, there's an example, I can see it right there. There is a little teeny tiny onion. It's not gonna make it. Is it worth saving space for that onion? No, it's not. So I'm gonna pull it out. Oops. Let's see if I can see it. Right there. There's this teeny tiny onion, not gonna be worth the space. I'm gonna pull that out. It's not gonna get to a normal size by any means. So I'm gonna do that with a lot of things. Ask myself, does it make sense to have 2 plants maybe that I'm going to seed? No, okay, pull one out. That's what I did with my kale. Once I've got that bed ready to go, and that's key right now because I've got so much summer stuff and I'm transitioning to, when I transition to fall, I wanna make sure that I have that space. You can see over here, I've got worm castings that I kind of laid out, and the only reason I did that is I was too lazy to go to the garage to get my other stuff, and the worm castings was right here. So that's totally fine. I fertilized kind of with that. What you want to do is have compost maybe and put compost in your soil. However, my compost is over there, still working and doing its thing. So there you go. All right, let's go over to the other bed that I'm really going for summer. So I've got, if you remember, here are my collards that have completely gone to seed. I've got cucumbers in here on this trellis. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, well, it's really hot, but this will be a good place to put things that really are gonna germinate quickly and are gonna need that cool space. Okay, over there, they're okay growing in the heat, maybe, or they're not gonna germinate. They're gonna need the heat to germinate like broccoli, but they've got some time, like they're gonna take time to grow. So I'm gonna leave it over there and it's okay that they're getting a little bit more sunshine. Over here, they're gonna grow very quick, but I need the shade. So I've got all my lettuces and my spinach. So here's my lettuce. I grew a line of lettuce right here. That's red romaine. Moving over here underneath my trellis, I've got 2 lines right here. I've got a row of salad bowl blend. It says it's heat tolerant. I don't know where it says heat tolerant. Heat tolerant. Okay, so that's right here. As you can see, I already have lettuce growing. It's doing really well. This is a broccoli plant, but it's only doing well because it's shaded and I cover it when it gets too hot and too sunny. And then in the back here, there's a line of stuff along just right here. I've got this Samson seed, black seeded Simpson, excuse me, that I'm growing back there. Which brings us to our spinach. So up to this point, you've seen kind of what I've planted, where I've planted. Let's talk really quickly about why I've planted it. All these are cool weather crops. However, the heat of the summer is going to help them germinate. And if I can keep them moist with water, then they are going to germinate fairly quickly and get started. Will things bolt? Sure, maybe they will. Maybe all my lettuce will bolt or go to seed, but that's okay because I have plenty of time left to continue putting in new plants up until fall. And that's where my, what we call succession comes from, is planting them one after another. So spinach is one of my favorite things to grow. However, I have not had any luck with growing it. So I would love to grow it. I use it all the time, but it's just not working well for me. So I've got these little seeds. Let me put them on my little mat here. My leg. All right, so I've got these little seeds here. They look like this. They're just itty bitty. Okay, pretty hard. All the seeds that I've grown today were pretty hard for kids. My beets were probably the biggest thing and would be easier. But here are these little seeds. And with the spinach, I am gonna just sprinkle it on. Other seeds, like your salad and carrots and things like that, are kind of more, I don't know, dusty like. I don't know what you would call it. They're very hard to, both of these are very hard to notice. See? So this is what carrot seeds would look like, or salad seeds. Here are where a lot of your broccoli seeds, your spinach seeds, the colored seeds all look kind of like this. So with my broccoli, I kind of did one of these at a time and dropped them in. But with my spinach, I'm just gonna make this line right here in the grass, not the grass, in the dirt. And I'm gonna just take some seeds and really sprinkle them in. And I'll do a video on more about seeds, starting seeds, seed packet, things like that. But for right now, there you go. There's my spinach. I just dropped it in. And then I am gonna just shake it to get it a little bit of coverage. I don't need it very deep, just a half of an inch, just a little bit of dirt covering it. And now I'm gonna go through and just water it. So hopefully you found something that you maybe wanna grow in the fall. Put in the comments what you're growing maybe right now. This is our fall crop, what we're starting, but maybe you're starting your spring, I don't know. What are you growing right now? What's something you want to grow, but maybe you're having a hard time, like with me, the spinach. And yeah, just, I would love to hear just more about what you do. Do you have suggestions for me on my spinach? I would love to hear it. If you like it and subscribe, that helps me reach more audience members, and we can go like share that sustainable goals. And I would love to, yeah, share that more with everybody else. You can do it. I believe in you. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful August and whenever else time you watch it. Take care. Bye.